And our first guest today, Dan Talbot. Wow, kicking this thing off, and we just got three great guys coming in.
Yeah.
Talk about the situation, what's going on in high school sports here in Polk County. Of course, he's the athletic director. He is the man for prep sports. Dan, glad to have you on board.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, absolutely. Well, you know, I don't know what you've been with the school board now, 6 years, 7 years?
So yeah, March of 16 is when I took over as a county athletic director. So I've been here a while, and I've been in the county since 2003. So Polk County's home.
Well, that's a good thing. There's just been so many changes in the world of Polk County sports, prep sports. It's just obviously, you know, I can attribute that to your leadership, and that's really what it's all about. But getting into football season, busy time of the year for you, argue the best attendance of any of the high school sports, and arguably again, maybe the highest profile. How's that going so far? It's
going well. We're obviously tonight's week 2. We're coming off a little, a hurricane, a few days off from school, but we're going to kick back off with week 2, and we're excited to, we don't have that many home games tonight. A lot of our teams are on. There's like 4 home games tonight in Polk County. Most of the schools are on the road, but we're excited to kick off, football. I always try not to talk about football much. It's like crowning the king, but I'm excited that bowling's back in the county, and I bowl in a men's league, and I'm excited for our bowlers to get started, and cross country, because we have one of the top facilities in the state of Florida that we're going to be running at Holloway Park. So there's a lot of other sports that that we have. It's just an exciting type of year, just mainly because high school sports are back.
Yeah. Well, we were okay. To be painfully honest, we were down at the school board a little bit before that, and we should have stayed at Spring Hill Suites because we forgot to mention our sponsor
who brought this segment. So,
off to a rough start today, but that's okay. So we were down at the school board headquarters, meeting with Superintendent Fred Hyde. Good meeting there, and we were driving back. Actually, driving to the headquarters. And there is our own Neil Duncan's pickup truck sitting out in the track at Bartow High School getting ready for the Bartow football game tonight.
I thought Chris and I had passed him. So okay, you saw he was Dan.
Oh, so Mark Zimmerman and I kept a very close eye on him.
So
you have to. Anyway, let's get back on track. So why don't you lead us off?
So this has to be the highest participation segment of the sports year, correct? Between football, cross country, volleyball, cheerleading.
Actually, spring is really with our new addition to our sports. In spring, we have boys and girls track, boys and girls lacrosse, boys and girls tennis, baseball, softball, and with the addition to boys volleyball, beach volleyball. So spring is probably one of our busiest times of year now.
Okay.
Well, but traditionally, the fall, I think the fall seems more busy because we're just coming off the summer and people tend to sleep in more than they probably should. They're not into a regular routine, so it seems a little bit more hectic than it should be, but spring is our biggest time of the year.
Well, in the fall, and we're going to talk to Mark Zimmerman a little bit later about cross country and all the great things that are going on in what we call quiet sports. If you're down, at one of the events, one of the cross-country events, it's not so quiet. But fact of the matter is, that's going on big now. We'll visit with him a little bit later. Football here in the county, as an outsider, without kids in school anymore and all of that type of stuff, football has, I don't know, in Polk County, probably produced as many or more superstars. And when I say superstars, I'm talking about at the collegiate level, then on to the NFL, than anybody, heck, we have 2 NFL Hall of Famers, Ray Lewis and Ken Riley, coming out of here. Maybe somebody else, I'm not quite sure.
But just those 2.
Well, and then, at the collegiate level, Wayne Peace and some of these others. But, it's a program. There's something different about it here. Can you put your finger on that?
We talk about it all the time, especially when I coach. Is just when we would go play certain counties. I won't name them, but when we would travel to certain counties to play playoff games, we just knew our kids were tougher. They didn't grow up on the beach. You know, they didn't grow up in that kind of setting and lifestyle. They grew up in orange groves, and they grew up working with their hands and you know, having to probably work over the summer and possibly work at school. And our kids were just seemed tougher than most of the surrounding counties, especially the coastal counties. And obviously, we always didn't beat those schools every time, but we always felt going in we had a great chance because our kids were just, you know, raised a little bit different, you know, with traditional home values and stuff like that, and just, you know, had to work for everything, that nothing was given to our kids, and that's why we always felt we were tougher and we could outwork anybody.
Well, I think that you just draw a really good correlation, causal, it's not just a correlation, between, you know, home life, work ethic, and sort of the social environment here in Polk is different. It just is. And I think that's a blessing for us, and you see it in the kids.
So you were
Freddie Mitchell, there's another one.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
You were talking about traveling for football championships. Not doing so much traveling for championships as of late. So you've brought an awful lot of them here to Polk County.
We're traveling, but it's just it's right down the road. So we are excited. Obviously, it's out there that everybody knows. We hosted, you know, boys and girls volleyball in Winter Haven last year. We hosted boys and girls weightlifting and boys and girls basketball in Lakeland, which was exciting for us to have those events. The thing is it goes back to our community. I mean, it truly does. Our community partners, everyone that lives in Polk County, we love hosting these events. We love being in the spotlight to be able to provide an experience for student athletes from around the state of Florida to come to our county, and for us to be able to showcase what sports actually means to us as a community, as a school board, and things that we do. So we're excited that we're actually adding the state championships for cheerleading back in Lakeland. And if you look at it, you know, Lakeland's won 5 in a row, Bartow's won 4 in a row, and I think Bartow's won like 12 out of the last 13. So we're bringing that home for them to give our parents an opportunity to see the highest level of competitive cheerleading has to offer. And I think probably the one I'm most excited about, because when you think of Polk County, you think of Lakeland, and then, you know, obviously with Winter Haven getting the state championships for boys and girls volleyball. But to add Auburndale, you know, Auburndale is such a fantastic community, and Cody over there with Parks and Reps is fabulous to work for, and to be able to give them the state soccer championships at the Lake Myrtle Complex is going to be a unique experience for all the student athletes coming to Polk County, and I'm very excited that we have soccer.
Well, I think it's a testament to the decision that was made. It was, you were selected Sports Executive of the Year. And for good reasons. And when we started the program out, the comment that I made about you know, your 7 years and all of this, that, and the other, and the successes that you've had has to be a big part of that. You know, these are tangible successes when you start bringing in all these state champions. I mean, this is literally the high school state championship capital of Florida.
Yeah,
it really is now.
Well, and you talk to the FHA, there's two things that they bring up. They bring up the fact that, you know, there's not a lot of red tape in Polk County, but the most important thing is we want them here. And that sets a different environment. So when you're actually hosting them, that, you know, some facilities, like, they don't really want to host it. They felt like they have to, or it was someone else's idea to host it. But with us in Polk County, we want those events here, and it shows on how we treat the FHA staff when they're here, how the student athletes get here. We try to make it a unique experience and a great experience for the student athletes. But and just to touch on one thing, being named, you know, Sports Executive of the Year, it's, you know, it's very humbling and very appreciative. But the thing I want to know is, I got a staff in my office that works diligently year round. Not just, you know, they don't clock in at 9 and leave at 5. None of us do, but a good reason to that is the 17 athletic directors at the public high schools that, you know, make me look good, that are on the front lines, and I'm trying to support them and they're trying to support us. So it's really, you know, I accepted that award on behalf of all the high schools in Polk County, you know, for the jobs that they do with their student athletes in a day, and then what we're trying to do as a district, and we're basically trying to give our student athletes at our high school a unique experience, but also trying to bring other people into our county to show how we spotlight our student athletes and just have a unique partnership with each other and make each other better.
We're
Coming up on like a couple of seconds left.
Yes, sir.
And looking forward to just one real quick question, and it has to do with the Dreadnoughts going down or playing Miami, getting beat. Miami Norland, they got beat by Norland. New coach, are they going to bounce back?
They'll bounce back. I think, when you see a loss at Lakeland, everyone starts to get panicky, especially the fan base there and have been there for 10 years. But Norland is a very good team. And if you look at Lakeland's schedule this year, it's probably one of the most difficult schedules I can ever remember Lakeland having. I mean, with Miami Norland, Armwood, Armwood just beat Venice. And who was a team Lakeland played in the state championship last year. So you got Miami Norland. Then we got the team from Philadelphia coming down in 2 weeks that just lost to IMG by 3 points. And then Largo's no easy foot either, then Osceola. So their schedule is tough. You could look at their schedule and no one probably figured they would go undefeated this year. But when you're a new coach and you start off 0-1, it can be nerve-wracking because you've got to look at the history of the program. But they'll bounce back.
Okay. Well, that was the $1 million question, if you will. And
yeah.
Hey, once again, congratulations on the Bernie Little Executive of the Year at the Hall of Fame and All Sports Awards. That was truly an honor, well deserved.
Thank you.
All of us in Polk County appreciate what you do in the world of athletics and not losing sight of the fact that you have a balancing act between athletics and academia. You've done that.
Thank you.
So, great job. If you enjoyed this interview and want to watch more Sports Central, click the video below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.